A moment in financial history that will be studied for centuries. The United States national debt, a number once so large it was almost abstract, has crossed a threshold that can no longer be ignored. It's spiraling past $35 trillion, a figure that is growing by $1 trillion every 100 days. For decades we were told this number didn't matter, that as the world's reserve currency, the United States could print its way out of any problem. That illusion is now shattering before our very eyes as we know it. The debt is no longer a distant concern for future generations. It is a clear and present danger to our economic stability today. To put this into perspective, the interest payments alone on this colossal debt are set to exceed $1 trillion annually. This isn't money being invested in infrastructure, healthcare, or education. This is money being paid just to service the debt we've already accumulated. It's now the largest single item in the federal budget, eclipsing even national defense spending. Think about that. We are spending more money on the interest of our past borrowing than we are on protecting the nation itself. The financial foundation of the United States is being consumed from within. This has created what economists call a debt spiral or a doom loop. It's a terrifyingly simple concept. The government must borrow new money simply to pay the interest on its old money. As it borrows more, the total debt increases. As the total debt increases, the interest payments grow larger. And as the interest payments grow larger, the government is forced to borrow even more. It's a self-perpetuating cycle, and it's accelerating. This isn't a theory. It's mathematical certainty. The Congressional Budget Office projects that under current policies, the debt will soar to over $50 trillion within the next decade. The system is feeding on itself, and every turn of the cycle brings us closer to a breaking point. Historically, when a nation finds itself in this predicament, there are three traditional paths out. The first is austerity, drastic cuts in government spending, and sharp increases in taxes. Imagine slashing Social Security, Medicare, and defense all at once. Politically, this is suicide. No elected official would survive implementing the level of austerity required to make a meaningful dent in $35 trillion of debt. The social and political upheaval would be immense. The second path is an outright default. This means the government simply announces it will not pay back its debts. This would trigger an instantaneous global financial cataclysm. U.S. Treasury bonds are considered the safest asset in the world. They are the bedrock of the entire global financial system. A default would shatter that trust, causing markets to collapse, banks to fail, and plunging the world into a depression that would make the 1930s look mild. This is not an option. It's a guaranteed apocalypse. So, if austerity is politically impossible and a hard default is economically unthinkable, what's left? The third path, the one that governments throughout history have turned to when they get trapped. It's called a soft default, but you know it by another name: inflation. The plan is simple yet insidious. The central bank, the Federal Reserve, creates vast amounts of new money to buy up the government's debt. This flood of new currency devalues every single dollar already in existence. The government then pays back its old fixed-rate debts with these new devalued dollars. The $35 trillion number on the balance sheet stays the same, but the real-world value of that debt is stealthily eroded. It's a quiet default, a hidden tax on every single person who holds US dollars. Your savings, your wages, your retirement, their purchasing power is deliberately diminished to make the government's debt burden more manageable. We are already seeing this play out. Inflation has been persistently high, and it's not by accident. It is a feature, not a bug, of the current policy. This is where the story takes a fascinating turn. As the global financial system grapples with the slow-motion decline of the dollar, the search for a new, stable, and efficient way to move value has become paramount. Central banks and major financial institutions around the world are not sitting idle. They know the current system is unsustainable. They are preparing for what comes next, and a key part of that preparation involves a digital asset that was designed for this very purpose. And that asset, my friends, is called XRP. XRP is not a speculative cryptocurrency like many others. It was purpose-built from the ground up to serve as a bridge currency for cross-border payments. The current system for sending money internationally is slow, expensive, and archaic. It relies on a network of correspondent banks called SWIFT, a system that can take days to settle a transaction and involves multiple fees along the way, a system that is obviously out of date. XRP and the ledger it runs on. can settle a cross-border transaction in 3 to 5 seconds for a fraction of a penny. This isn't a future tense proposition. Major financial institutions have been testing and implementing this technology for years. They need a way to move trillions of dollars around the globe without being exposed to the volatility and devaluation of a single fiat currency like the dollar. They need a neutral, efficient, and scalable settlement asset. XRP was designed to be that asset. It provides a quiet escape hatch from a failing system. Instead of relying on a dollar-centric world, banks can use XRP as a bridge between any two currencies, be it yen to pesos or euros to rand, instantaneously. This reduces their reliance on the US dollar and insulates them from the inflationary soft default that is underway. The transition is happening behind the scenes. Think about the concept of tokenization. The World Economic Forum and giants like BlackRock are talking about a future where all real-world asset stocks, bonds, real estate, commodities are represented as digital tokens on a blockchain. In a world where trillions of dollars in tokenized assets are being traded 24/7, you need a settlement mechanism that can keep up. You need a digital asset capable of providing on-demand liquidity and instant settlement on a global scale. This is the precise use case for which XRP was engineered. As the world slowly de-dollarizes and moves towards this new tokenized financial architecture, the demand for a neutral bridge asset like XRP is poised to explode. The current price of XRP does not reflect its utility in this coming system. For it to function as the settlement layer for even a fraction of the world's cross-border payments and tokenized assets, its value would need to be orders of magnitude higher than it is today. We are not talking about a speculative bubble. We are talking about a price derived from fundamental utility in a redesigned global financial system. The numbers are staggering, but the logic is sound. As the old world of unsustainable debt and inflationary fiat currency crumbles, the new world of digital, efficient, and sound money is being built, and XRP is positioned right at its very foundation. The path ahead is clear, but it will not always be smooth sailing. XRP will always have its ups and downs. Obviously, we are all just hoping for a lot more ups. The debt spiral is irreversible. The damage has already been done, and they need to take action soon. The soft default through inflation is the chosen policy. The global financial elite are preparing for a new system. The evidence is all around us. For those willing to see it, you simply need to just open your eyes. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. Leave a comment down below and I will make sure to respond. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more insights into our changing financial world. See you in the next one.